Welcome back, Football Manager fanatics and fellow sore losers. My name's Ross, and a different Football Manager episode today. I'm going to be doing a 10-year rebuild of Birmingham City because they're in current free fall at the minute with Wayne Rooney taking over. I'm sure I can do a better job. Hit the intro and let's find out. Now don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe. Let me know down below if you want to see part 2 as well. Let's get into the episode. Now the tactic I'm going to be using for this rebuild is a 4-1-4-1 mastery. Link should be appearing above to that episode. Now if you've already watched that episode, spoilers for what's going to happen for season 1 for Birmingham City, but if you haven't watched it, I very recommend you go back and have a look at it afterwards. So it is a 4-1-4-1 mastery, as I've called it. It's a positive mentality, in possession, fairly wide attacking width, with passing to space, focus down the left and the right, and play out of defence. Passing is shorter with a higher tempo and running at the defence with low crosses in the final third. In transition, it's a counter press and a counter with roll it out distribution style. And out of possession, it is a high line press of engagement, a higher defensive line as well. We're going to prevent short goalkeeper distribution and we're going to trigger the press much more often. Now with the formation, it's a sweeper keeper on defend, 2 complete wing backs on attack on either flank with 2 ball playing defenders on defend in the middle, an anchor on defend just to kind of support the defenders with the wing backs bombing up the wings, 2 inside forwards with an advanced midfielder on support, an advanced midfielder on attack, and an advanced forward on attack as well. Now there wasn't a lot of finances to play with. We had 2.7 million to start the season, and for a Birmingham City fan, we've all been shouting out for a striker, and I've managed to buy one in. Well, I got 2 in actually. One in on loan, Rodrigo Muniz from Fulham. Young Brazilian striker. I mean, he's got all-round statistics. They're okay. They're fine. Should be good for this level. Gerald Kwanzaa at centre-back. Just a little bit more depth. 20 years old, 6'6". He's an absolute unit. Valued at 14-17 million on loan from Liverpool. Should hopefully do a good job for us. And the striker I've spent all my money on, Football Manager Wonder Kid maybe, it is Ibrahim Osman. 3.5 million spent from FC Northland, a series where, well, I did a series in FM23 with FC Northland, so go back and have a look at that if you haven't already as well. Ghanaian, 18 years old, can play left wing and also up front as well, which is where we're going to be deploying him for this season. Very good stats, 15 dribbling, 15 first touch, 15 technique, 15 off the ball, composure, anticipation, determination, and he's very fast as well with 16 acceleration and 16 pace. There is one transfer coming in January already, that is Samuel Brolin. We needed a new goalkeeper as well. John Ruddy's not getting any younger I should say. Now we are on transfer deadline day. We've done all our dealings, and this is how we're currently looking in the league. We're in 5th position, 4 games played, 2 wins and 2 draws with a +6 goal difference and 8 points on the board. Now let's forward on to the end of the season and let's see how we finish. Now just a quick look at kind of our best 11 or so the assistant manager thinks. It's looking like Muniz as our striker, Osman on the left with Miyoshi, Hall and Dembele. Sunjic in the middle as our anchor with Buchanan, Sanderson, Avu, Laird and Ruddy. Now ideally, I'd probably put Osman up front with Miyoshi out on the right, Dembele on the left, and then maybe a Stansfield just behind Osman as well. But let's see how the assistant manager plays us throughout the season, and we'll see how we get on. With the 4-1-4-1 tactic in full flow, there was goals this season for Birmingham City. Ibrahim Osman was absolutely on fire. 2 hat-tricks across the season. Could he fire us into promotion? Let's find out. And we have been promoted, finishing 2nd position, only 1 point off Leicester in top position as well. 28 wins, 10 draws, 8 losses, plus 59 goal difference. Fantastic stuff from this tactic. Let's kind of see a bit more in depth how we got on. Goal stats, Ibrahim Osman topped the championship goal scoring record with 29 goals. Average rating, Jay Stansfield with a 7.36, Sariki Dembele with a 7.25. In assists, just behind my head, Dembele with 16 assists across the season. No player of the matches, unfortunately. Clean sheets were not involved as well. And in yellow cards, we have two, Dion Sanderson and Buchanan, with 15 and 13 respectively. Now, let's kind of have a look at our past positions and how we did get on with this tactic. Now, it looks like we actually topped the league for a lot of the season as well in the first third. So that's game week 9 on to game week 17. A good run at the top of the table then. Drop down to second, back up to top. Kind of our lowest consistently was in 5th place, but that's playoffs. And it's more than we have been predicted to finish in this season. A late charge to the top of the table, but we lost to Norwich 2-1 to stop going up as champions. Now an overview of the stats. So points per game, Leicester with a 0.03 points more to win the league. That's gutting. Most goals for, however, 119 for our Birmingham City team, 7 coming from corners. Most shots for, we were second with this one, 690. Few shots against, you know, it's quite an attacking formation, so yeah, I'm not surprised to see that. Best pass completion, most possession, we're not involved in the conversation with this either. Most tackles won, we're not there, but most dribbles made, we're 5th with 719. Most clean sheets, we are 7th on this list with 13 across the season, with only 60 goals conceded as well. We're in 5th place there. Now if we have a look at how the squad performed, top in the goal chart was Ibrahim Osman. We did lock him in for the season. 29 goals and 4 assists with an average rating of 7.0, which is very good. Stansfield in second, however, though, with 20 goals and 8 assists across 24 starts with 20 appearances from the bench. Miyoshi with 17 goals and 8 assists. Kishi Anderson, unsung hero here, 13 goals and 9 assists. Seems to have had a good season with us at the top of the table. George Hall with 12 goals and 8 assists. Although Siriki Dembele with 10 goals and 20 assists. There's a lot of goals and a lot of assists in this tactic. Let's see, kind of have a look at the schedule and see if there's any big wins or any big losses to talk about. Now we started off the championship season with a 4-2 victory over Swansea, a 3-0 victory over Coventry, and then draws to Leeds and Bristol City. Our first loss in all competitions coming to a 3-1 loss to Watford, which was 7 games into the season. And then from there, a run of 6 straight wins with an 8-0 victory over QPR as well. Osman getting 2, Miyoshi and Siriki Dembele getting 2 as well. West Brom, a 4-2 victory there and a 3-0 against Huddersfield also. A couple of losses coming in kind of the mid part of the season here with against Middlesbrough, Southampton a 4-2, a 3-2 to Burnley in the Carabao Cup, so we've been knocked out of that one there. But 5-1 wins against Sheffield Wednesday, a 5-0 against Cardiff, a 5-0 against Sunderland, a 3-0 against Southampton. Osman and Jay Stansfield getting the goals there. A 3-0 against Huddersfield again, but then we lost, as I mentioned earlier, to Norwich 2-1 at the end of the season to stop us going up as champions. Now the board are giving us a transfer budget of 31 million for the Premier League. There's a lot of rebuilding to do with this squad. Let's move on to Season 2. Season 2 is here. The media prediction is going to be that we finish rock bottom 1,000 to 1 to win the Premier League, but we're predicted to finish 20th this season. We've had 31 million to spend in the transfer budget. Let me show you what we've done. Now we've had no major players leaving us. It's been a season of rebuilding and we've spent a lot of our 31 million as well. So Joe Bursic, we've brought him in as a goalkeeper going forward, 1.6 million, rising to 2.1. Very good goalkeeper, good reflexes, kicking, one-on-one ability, aerial reach as well, with good jumping, should be a good player for us, 24 years of age, Czechia international, but also English as well. Starting off at Stoke, so he's got some good experience in the Championship, so one for the future for us. And also going back to Stoke, Emre Tezgel, we brought him in a very nominal fee as well, 18 years of age. He normally becomes quite a good player in Football Manager. Will we have enough time in this rebuild to make him reach his potential? Only time can tell, but a lot of the money has come in kind of the midfield position that we have here. But first of all, Jarrod Quansah, his loan move has been made permanent. Brought him in for £1 million. He's valued at 14 to 17 million. Did he play much for us last season? Let's have a look. 37 games in the Championship, so kind of at the heart of our defence there. Very nice to see. So he's coming for 1.1 million. And Avu as well. We've kind of finalised his loan for £3 million. Was a good solid player for us in the Championship as well. 43 games played. Can cover a multitude of positions with left back and right back coverage and defensive midfielder if we do get desperate there. Now, Brandon Williams has joined us on a free transfer. Again, cover, left wing and right back position. With Buchanan and Laird, I don't see Brandon Williams kind of pushing ahead of those, but we'll see how we get on with him throughout the season. Now, midfield was a position I kind of wanted to improve upon. So, Simeone Profunde, we've brought him in on loan from Udinese. He can play up front, but mainly as the attacking midfield position. We're going to stick with the tactic that we used to get us promoted. So, a little bit more depth in the attacking midfielder position is what we require. Aaron Ramsey, again, he can fill 2 spots, attacking midfield and in midfield as well. As is a lone player, I kind of don't see us giving him that much football, or I hope the assistant manager doesn't, because I want to kind of focus on our own players going forward. In defence, Jackson Perozzo, 1.7 million spent on this guy. Ecuadorian, 6'4". Physicals are fantastic. Great heading ability and tackling as well. Good determination and aggression. Really hope he can do a good job for us at centre-back. Last couple of signings here as well. So Ignacio Ramirez, brought him in as a free transfer, just as a backup striker, in all honesty. He's very well-rounded, some good stats with finishing, off the ball and concentration. Mentals are there, physicals are fine. Yeah, he'll be a good backup going forward. And the two kind of main transfers that I've done this season, Koki Sato. Now, Miyoshi was fantastic on the right wing. Sato, I'm hoping, will be just as good on the left wing. He's had a good start to life in the Premier League with us so far. 3 goals in 4 games with a 7.12 rating. Valued at 16 to 23 million. Feel like we've got a good player in our hands with Koki Sato. And lastly, just to kind of fill in the midfield position, João Marquez. We spent 13.5 million on this guy from Estoril Priara. Probably butchered that. Apologies if I have. He seems like an ultimate midfield player. Attacking midfield is where I'm kind of hoping he can be, sitting just in behind the striker. But very, very happy with our transfer business made. So look at the first team. This is kind of how we are looking. Osman up front with Sato, Miyoshi, Marquez and Dembele as the 4 attackers just behind Osman. Bielik as our anchor in defence with Buchanan, Perozzo, Sanderson, Laird and Bursic. So only Perozzo really coming in to affect the back 4, and then Bursic being our main goalkeeper for the season. On the bench, Avu, Ramirez, Kwanzaa. I mean, Tyler Roberts is still at the club. Did he play much last season? 15 games apparently, which is probably more than anyone would have expected, with Brandon Williams and then our 2 lone players on the bench as well. Now, the season has already kind of started. We're currently in 14th place with one win, 2 draws and 1 loss. And let's see kind of how we have started the season. Leicester, we beat them 3-1. Nice to see. Avu, Hall and Marquez all on the sheet. And then 2 3-3 draws here as well against Liverpool and against West Ham. We lost to Peterborough in the Carabao Cup second round. And we've lost to Crystal Palace 3-2 in the Premier Division as well. Now, let's forward ahead for the end of season 2. And let's see how we get on. Now, it will be a season many fans remember as Birmingham City got a domestic double over their fierce rivals Aston Villa. How did they fare on for the rest of the season? Let's find out. Now, it's a miracle we have survived, finishing in 15th position. A very attacking tactic in this division. 10 wins, 11 draws and 17 losses. A -8 goal difference, so our defence clearly isn't doing too much at the back there. But we have got a 14-point kind of lead over relegation teams of Everton, Bournemouth and Burnley. Let's kind of have a look into the teams and see how we did get on. So with the stats, most goals, we actually finished 5th in the Premier League with this tactic. 73 goals, 7 again coming from corners. But we did finish 15th overall, but we scored a lot of goals in this tactic. Most shots for, 7th with this, 423. Fewest shots against, obviously we was a -8 goal difference, so I don't expect us to be in any of these. Most tackles won, in 6th position there, 892. Most dribbles made, I mean we dominated it in the Championship, but not to be in the Premier League. Most clean sheets and fewest conceded were not included in this either. Now, let's have a look at the past positions. We were kind of comfortably tipped to finish bottom of the Premier League, and we spent a lot of our season down the bottom as well. If I just move myself over to this side here, I think 13th place was the highest we were the whole season, 15th for a lot of it, dropping down into 17th. But looking at this, we never went into the relegation zone, so I don't think we're in too much trouble going forward with this tactic. So obviously winning 10 games and drawing 11 really has helped us with this season going forward. Very, very happy with how we have performed in the competition screen as well. Knocked out of the FA Cup in the 4th round by Tottenham Hotspur, and in the Carabao Cup we were knocked out in the 2nd round by Peterborough, which we alluded to earlier on. Now looking at how the players performed, another massive season for Ibrahim Osman, 22 goals and 8 assists in 39 games. He's doing really well, valued at 31 to 40 million pounds. Good signing for 3.5 million last season. Now João Marquez with 13 goals and 7 assists in the attacking midfielder position. Koki Saito as well, 13 goals and 8 assists. So 21 million spent on these two, and it seems to be money well spent. Koji Miyoshi coming in with 10 goals and 8 assists as well. And lastly, Siriki Dembele with 7 goals and 12 assists. Now looking at our schedule, it was decent season, and not a lot of wins early on though. However, we beat Leicester 3-1, as I mentioned, 3-3 draws to Liverpool and West Ham, and then a couple of bad losses here as well. Palace, Leeds, Nottingham Forest, Tottenham 4-3, Man United in the Prem, although we did pick up a lovely 5-1 win against Wolverhampton Wanderers. And again, we can see why we was kind of lavishing in mid-table. A 4-1 loss to Chelsea, but good draws against Arsenal, Everton, and as mentioned in the little intro at the beginning, we beat Aston Villa 4-1, Siriki Dembele with 2, and Koji Miyoshi with 2. Ollie Watkins getting 1 goal back for Aston Villa. Into the FA Cup 3rd round, beat Sunderland 3-2, beat Brentford 3-0 in the Prem, but then lost in the 4th round to Tottenham. Wins against, well, kind of back-to-back wins here against Leicester 4-3, another 3-1 victory against Aston Villa, and a 5-1 victory against Everton, although I can see that we lost 7-0 to Arsenal. Yeah, maybe that's why our goal difference was pretty bad, but we kind of plateaued and finished the season strongly with a draw against West Ham, and we defeated Leeds and Burnley to secure our survival in the Prem. Now the board have been very generous. We've got 51 million to spend in the summer. Season 3, here we come. I'll see you there. Season 3's here. We had 51 million to spend. We've sold a lot of players. We've bought a lot of players as well. Let me kind of show you what we've been up to, what we have been doing as well. So we have sold 57 million pounds worth of players. A lot of this coming kind of at the end of the season as well. So Longelo, our backup left back, he's went to Al Ain for 8.5 million there. Ivan Sunjic gone to the same team for 10 million. Some kind of squad rotation players that unfortunately we're not going to improve our team with. Tyler Roberts has left us, Oxford United for 1.7 million, which was good. I'm not going to kind of go into too much detail about them. Now, Christian Bielik has left as well. He was our first choice centre defensive midfielder, 12 million to 19.5 million. He's kind of rated at there. He went for 15 million. Also, Brandon Williams, we brought him in on a free. He's gone for 20 million to Wolverhampton Wanderers. He's rated 27 to 43 million. Now, he played 22 games last season, which isn't bad. He's a good backup, but we just needed to kind of make a lot of money for the players that we did want to buy in. And buying players we did. A couple of fantastic free signings here, if I do say so myself. Gabriel Barbosa, or Gabigol, brought him in on a free, 48,000 a week on wages, valued at 37 to 48 million pounds. Very, very good player, good striker, Brazilian international as well, so welcome to the club. He wasn't the only Brazilian that we brought in, however. Malcolm has joined us, another one on a free, 28 years of age, 54,000 a week. He's valued at 34 to 40 million. He's going to rock up on the right hand side or the left. He can play in a multitude of positions there. Maybe up front if we do require him, but a good all-round player for us. Now, goalkeeper, Bursic probably wasn't the one to do, so Kasper Tobias, we've brought him in. 3 million spent on this guy. 48,000 a week, 25 to 36 million valuation. I mean, goalkeeping stats, do you get any better? I don't think you do, not for a 22-year-old. Reflexes of 14, passing of 17, so a sweeper keeper is going to be coming out and kind of dominating the defensive area there. One-on-ones of 16, kicking of 16, area reach of 14, jumping of 15, 6'3", very good acquisition for 3 million. And then on the left back position, Josh Doig, we brought him in from Hellas Verona for £17 million. This guy looks absolutely fantastic. 23 years old, Scottish. He's not even an international for Scotland, but yeah, that should soon change if he can perform for us here. A very good all-rounder, 75,000 a week, star player. Yeah, if we kind of compare him to our other left back, yeah, there's Buchanan's there. There's a star difference between the two of them. So very good player, good Premier League player as well. Now that's not all. We've spent 117 million in this season going forward. So a couple of freebies. Tommy Doyle's coming as a free. A bit of backup in midfield, English as well. 15 to 21 million valuation, 21,000 a week. Very happy for him. Also, Gabriel Vidovic, a wonder kid from my old save at Genoa, coming in from Bayern. 30 to 45 million, 41,000 a week. I mean, as a player that can play in the attacking midfielder position or even out on the wide right hand side, for a freebie, we're very happy for Vidovic to come in. Not the only freebie, however. Sebastiano Esposito. There's a reason why we got this going on a free, and it's a bit of a silly reason as well, but Esposito has joined us mainly because we've signed his brother, Francesco Pio Esposito, a good backup striker with Gabigol and obviously Ibrahim Osman as well. 20 years of age, 6'3", fantastic target forward. I mean, he could be the next Roberto Bottega, so good specimen this guy is. 31 to 40 million, 42,000 a week, and we've spent 16 million on him from Inter Milan. Now, the reason why I got Sebastiano Esposito is because I bought Salvatore Esposito from Spezia. 79,000 a week, 26 to 35 million. We sold Sunjic and we sold Bielik. This is the guy that is going to be our main defensive midfielder, probably for the rest of this rebuild here. It's 24 years of age, fantastic mentals, fantastic physicals, an all-round fantastic player. 4-star ability we have here. Good Premier League player as well. Very happy to bring him on side. Then a couple of players that we have brought in at the centre-back position. Lenny Euro, he's a youngster, coming in as a wonder kid as well, potentially. How much should we spend on this guy? 10 million on him, valued at 27 to 35 million, 47,000 a week. We needed someone a little bit more quality. We shipped in a lot of goals last season, and that's why we also got in Oigo Ogbu from Slavia Praga. I mean, this guy's just fantastic. 6'2", fantastic physicals, tackling, marking, heading, all at 14. Great mentals as well. 28 to 33 million valuation, 42,000 a week. Should be a very good centre back for us going forward. And the last couple of little players, say last couple of little ones, is a massive signing that we have made. But Laurin Ulreich, got him in for 3 million from Stuttgart. We've let him go back out on loan for the season. He'll be one to come in to join the squad next season going forward. But Rooney, Badhaji, we brought him in. He was at Liverpool in this game. We spent 58 million on this guy. I mean, he's a wonder kid on Football Manager. Hopefully, we can build the team around Rooney, Badhaji. Should be an exciting season going forward. Now, I would like to point out there's been a little change regarding the tactic going forward. Instead of an anchor, we're now going to go for a deep line playmaker. We're doing quite well with the attacking kind of formation here, but yeah, just to change it around a little bit in midfield, it's going to really help out Sebastiano Esposito. And if we're going to have a look at the best 11 going forward, now we've got Barbosa as our striker with Sato, Badhaji, Marquez, Descent Ulreich, but he's not clearly none at the club, so it won't be him just yet. With Esposito as our deep line playmaker, Doig, Avu, Ogbu, Laird, and Kasper Tobias in goal. Very interesting to see how this team gets on. Now, Season 3 has already started. We're on the 1st of September. Transfer window has just shut. 3 games have been played. We've won 1, drew 1, and lost 1. We beat Liverpool 5-4. Interesting. We drew. That's not me. We drew 1-1 with Norwich, and then we lost 3-0 to Manchester United. Although beating Liverpool 5-4, let's have a look kind of at that game. I mean, they scored in the 99th minute and the 89th minute and the 91st minute, so we're beating them 5-1 at one point. I mean, complete domination. Hopefully, more of those games to come. But anyway, let's go on holiday for the end of season 3, see how we get on. Now with a tactical tweak, the signing of Brazilians Malcolm and Gabriel Barbosa, along with Rooney Badhaji, Birmingham City played some fantastic football this season. Can they improve on their 15th place finish? Let's find out. And it's been another fantastic season for this Birmingham City team. With the tactical tweak as well, we've moved up into 10th position at the end of the season. 14 wins, 8 draws and 16 losses. A plus goal difference this time of 3, but 50 points overall. Now, we are still losing probably too many games, but let's have a little read through into the teams and see kind of how we got on overall in the season. From the team overview, we're second in the league now with 76 goals scored. I think we're down in 5th last season, so a vast improvement here. 76 goals scored across the season, 9 from corners as well. Most shots, 7 ahead of second place Liverpool with 501 shots across the season. Few shots against. We still need to improve obviously on our defensive formation here, but as an attacking force we are doing very well. Pass completion and possession still not included in there, nor in the most tackles won. I'm assuming we're going to be in dribbles made, and we're not. Okay, interestingly enough, most clean sheets and fewest conceded as well. We're not involved with this, but you know what? 10th place is a fantastic finish for us. Let's have a look at the pass positions and kind of how we did get on. Now it's a bit of a topsy-turvy one here. So obviously we dropped down into 12th position, and the lowest position we was in was 16th. That was on game week 7. However, we have slowly risen our way back up, with our kind of peak being at 7th position in the midway of game week 22. We've dropped down again, but we have kind of plateaued out, and we have finished in 10th position here. So not too bad, all things considered. No other competitions. In the English FA Cup, we were knocked out the semi-final by Manchester City, who went on to beat Newcastle for it. What was the score in that? We lost 2-0 after extra time. That's gutting to see, but a good performance from our team to get into the FA Cup semi-final. Although in the Carabao Cup, we were knocked out in the 3rd round, 2nd round even, by Wolverhampton Wanderers. Now we're kind of having a look at our squad and how we kind of got on here. Barbosa topped the charts for us with 21 goals and 6 assists in 42 games. Second was Koki Sato with 20 goals and 5 assists. He's had a fantastic season, he has. Let's just have a little look at Koki to see how he's doing. Valued at 23 to 32 million. To be honest, 16 goals and 5 assists in the Premier League is a fantastic achievement for us there. Gabriel Barbosa got 17 goals and 4 assists in the Premier League. Now if we have a look at Marquez, again 10 goals and 15 assists, that's fantastic. And Malcolm for a free signing as well, 10 goals and 10 assists, very good to see. And now lastly, just to look at the schedule to see how we did this season. Obviously we beat Liverpool 5-4, we've been mentioned on that earlier on, and then we lost to Wolverhampton Wanderers in the Cup, and Man United in the Premier Division. Although it looks like it's been a pretty solid season for us. We lost to West Ham, but then beat Wolves 3-1. A bit of revenge from the Carabao Cup there, but then followed it up with 2 losses to Leeds and to Brighton. Although we beat Arsenal 2-1, which is good. A good little 5-game unbeaten run in the middle of the season here. Brentford 2-2, drew to Fulham, but beat Newcastle 4-1. Sato and Badhaji getting 2 goals for us there. And you know what? It looks like a good season all round, good solid season. 3-0 against Sheffield United. We beat Aston Villa 4-0. Well done the Blues there. Beat Leicester 4-2. And we beat Cardiff 7-0 in the FA Cup 4th round. But a bit of a bad losing streak here in the Premier Division after a 5-1 victory against Leeds. Lost to Leicester, Man United, Liverpool and Aston Villa. Man City, Chelsea and Tottenham. So kind of the top teams in the top 7 there. But kind of plateaued at the end. We beat Crystal Palace, beat Chelsea as well, and Sheffield United 4-1. and we had a very solid season going forward. Now, quite scarily, transfer budget is 3.2 million for season 4, third season in the Prem. I'm not looking forward to this one, but let's see what we can do. Now, the start of season 4 is here. If you remember, we had a war chest of 3 million. Well, we've sold £59 million worth of players to ensure that we can compete in the market. Now, one of the big signings, or big sales I should say, is Koji Miyoshi, 11 million to Watford. Now, career stats for the 3 seasons that we had him, he's absolutely smashed it for us. In the Championship, 15 goals and 8 assists. In the Premier Division, in our first season, 10 goals and 8 assists. But his game time was drastically kind of reduced last season due to Malcolm. So 8 goals and 8 appearances, 1 goal. It was time for him to go, and 11 million to Watford in the Championship. He won't come back and haunt us this season at least. So very good bit of profit on that. And also Jackson Perozzo, if you remember, we spent 1.7 million on him in our first season in the Prem. 8 million, he's gone to Hull. Again, he didn't kind of play too much for us last season, only the 10 games played. So 19 million for those 2 players. Very happy with that. And then this 40 million kind of overall that we have sold. Some big players have left us as well. So Gabriel Barbosa, our top goal scorer last season, £34 million bid to Fulham. I needed to raise our transfer budget up, so he was on the wrong side of kind of 20. So he's now gone to Fulham, valued at 43 to 69 million. But yeah, what else can you say? They're in the Championship. They've spent 34 million on a striker. Good luck to them. Other than that, Junior Dixon, he was in our reserves. 6 million, he's gone to Derby. Again, good profit on a player that we was never going to play. And that kind of maps up the 59 million spent. Players like Sarika Dembele, they've left on a free. Their wages are a little bit too high. They didn't want to reduce their wage. So unfortunately, he's been a good servant for us. He was out on loan last season apparently as well. So yeah, he's a good sale, a good player off our wages as well. Now, the players that we have brought in. So we brought in Philippe from, where did we get him in from? From Legia Warsaw. 20 years old, Polish centre defence midfielder. He's there to kind of help out with Sebastiano Esposito. 20,000 a week in wages. Is valued straight away at 24 to 37 million. This guy's media description is a wonder kid. Let's see what he can do for us. 7 caps for the Polish national team at 3 million. What a bargain. Also, first regen or new gen brought in to the club, Ahmed Younis. We spent 3.8 million on this guy. He's coming in as a backup centre back and a backup right back as well. Again, his perfectionist personality, which is what really driven me to him. 18 years old, 6 foot. He's on loan at Middlesbrough currently, but valued at 39 to 49 million pounds. The big signing, however, of this transfer window, Benjamin Sesko. 33 million spent on this guy. Very cheap as well. Not sure how we managed to get him for so cheap. Cracking start to the season, 4 goals and 2 assists in 4 Premier League games. Now, Benjamin Sesko, if you look at him compared to Gabriel Barbosa, we've replaced him pretty much like for like, but I like to have a big target forward up front. And we all know how good Benjamin Sesko is, so very excited to build a squad around Benjamin. And then another 22 million kind of spent. A couple of youngsters here as well. So James McAtee, brought him in on a free. That rhymes, so we've got to keep it in there. 24 to 28 million valuation, 25,000 a week. He's going to be there as kind of a backup attacking midfielder for us. Ronnie Elton, another regen, brought him in on loan from Brazil. Now, he was out of contract at the end of the season. It looks like they've signed a new contract with him now, but we've got him for the season. Let's see how we get on. Now, we have Nut Thorason, a Kosovan, 18 years old. I've spent 11 million, was it, on this guy? 11 million from Almere City. I feel like he's going to be a good player going forward. He's got good potential ability here as well. 4 stars, consistent performer. He's currently international as well for Kosovo. So hopefully a little gamble on this guy here. And lastly, Nestori Irankunda. We brought him in from Porto for 10 million. Now this guy is absolutely phenomenal. Physicals are off the chart. Good technicals as well. Tanzanian at 20 years old. I think he broke into Adelaide's first team at the age of 16, I believe he was. So very good player to come in. 47,500, valued at 50 to 63 million pounds. Let's see how he gets on. So the Premier League has already kind of played. We've played 4 games so far, 3 wins and a draw. We've beaten Bournemouth 4-0, Brentford 3-0, Wolves 4-0, and then we drew 2-2 to Everton. Fantastic start for us. Let's see how we get on for the end of the season. I'm excited for this one. Now, with the big sale of Gabriel Barbosa, it's very important that Benjamin Sesko hit the ground running. He had a fantastic season with us this season, scoring plenty of goals and being the real focus up front for us. Can we improve on our 10th place finish? Let's find out. So the end of season 4 is here. We had 3 million to spend. Let's see kind of how we got on in the Premier League, and we have finished in 6th position. Fantastic for us here. We've qualified for the Europa League as well. 22 wins, 6 draws and 10 losses, a plus 27 goal difference, and 72 points on the board as well. Looking into it, I mean, we're 3 points off Champions League football here, which is gutting, but you know what? Fantastic season going forward for us. Let's kind of have a look, a deeper dive into how we got on in the league as well. So, team overview. We were most goals in the Premier League this time with 82, 6 coming from corners as well. Most points per game, finished 6th. Obviously, we finished 6th in the league, so that makes sense. Most shots for, 3rd, 504 shots across the season. Few shots against. Again, we need to work on our defence here, but you know, we're doing the best that we can with the finances that we have. Best pass completion and possession, we haven't been involved in this for the first 4 seasons, so it's no surprise here with this tactic. Most tackles won, not there, but most triples made, 8th in the league with 561. Most clean sheets and most conceded, not involved there. But we have a look at the pass positions. How did we get on and how do we get into this position here? Now, we was actually sitting in 2nd place in game week 4, and then we've dropped down to 9th and 10th, where we slowly plateaued our way up. And as you can see, we're in 5th position a fair amount, but then unfortunately dropped down into 6th. So we were really quite close to the Champions League positions as well. And if we have a look kind of at the squad and see how we did with them. Benjamin Sesko, 17 goals and 9 assists in 14 games for us. But João Marquez as well, 13 goals and 7 assists from the central attacking midfield. Rooney Badhaji with 9 goals and 11 assists. I think we kind of need a little bit more to happen from Rooney Badhaji to kind of get the best out of him. Although he's only 21 years of age, he's had a good season all around looking at it as well. So yeah, maybe we won't be too critical of him going forward there. Now, Nestori Irankunda, 7 goals and 1 assist, but he's only played 5 starts with 25 off the bench as well. James McAtee got a good run out with 7 goals and 7 assists also. So we're going to have a look at the competition screen. We were knocked out in the quarterfinal by Aston Villa, who lost to Manchester City 2-1. So yeah, not too bad for us there. And we seem to not like the Carabao Cup. We finished second, no we didn't. We got knocked out in the second round by Crystal Palace. And then lastly, having a look at how we performed. A good start to the season, as we saw. We went up into 2nd place. We beat Everton, and then the 3 victories against Wolves, Brentford and Bournemouth. Although it came crashing down to earth with a bad run of 4 games against Newcastle, lost to Manchester United 5-3, and we drew 1-1 to Arsenal. A big loss of 6-2 to Manchester City, but we beat Chelsea 3-2, and made a lovely December, lovely Christmas gift, as we can see here. Norwich, West Ham, Nottingham Forest all losing to us. We drew to Liverpool, but then beat Leeds, Palace, and we got revenge against Liverpool as well. A lovely 4-2 victory, followed by a 4-0 victory against Tottenham Hotspur. And we ended the season fairly strongly as well, losing 2 of our last 10 games, but only drawing 2 of those last 10 as well. So very good news, very impressed with how we have got on. 6th place finish is fantastic. We've got European football coming up. How much for the finances? 55 million. It's not too bad. Let's get on to season 5 and let's see how we get on. Now finally, into Season 5, we had a £55 million war chest. It is the 1st of September, the transfer window has closed. Now let me show you kind of what we have done going forward. We've spent a lot of money this season, but we have made a lot of money as well. First of all, Lee Buchanan left us for £10 million. He went to El Garafa. Yeah, he was a backup. Doig was doing fantastic, and yeah, didn't really find a place for him in our squad. Although we did play 13 games. No, that was for them. Played 9 games for us last season. It was time for him to move on the club, and 10 million was a big amount as well. And we also sold another £15 million worth of players. Lenny Euro, we brought him in for 10 million. He just didn't improve as much as I wanted him to. And I think bringing in a fee of 14 million, very happy with that. Lastly, Tommy Doyle, he's on a lot of wages. He left for Bristol City for 1.2 million. Now, there were a fair few signings made this season, some big signings as well. First of all, a couple of youth players. Evandro Lopez, we brought him in for 1.9 million. He's just a backup right back, can also play right wing as well. He's improving quite nicely. One for the future, Cape Verdean, a new gen as well. He's got 5 caps for Cape Verde though, with 1 goal. So £39 million valuation. Very happy to bring him in for that. A backup goalkeeper in Callan McKenna from Queens of the South. Was it 1.2 million spent on this guy? A good backup, valued at 30 to 46 million as well. 20 years of age. I mean, he's not too far off Casper Tobias, so a good signing to bring in. And lastly, for kind of the end of last season, Ibrahim Adel, 2.1 million valuation on him. Brought him in on a free. Yeah, he's one just to bring in to sell on 7,000 a week. It was a no-brainer for that. But we have in total spent 100 million. First of all, a couple of freebies. Charlie Patino, bringing him in from Arsenal. A backup centre defence midfielder. Him and Sebastian Esposito. Yeah, we're in good hands. We've got Europa League football as well, so he'll help towards the English registration for that. Another freebie, probably the best signing I made, was Tommaso Baldanzi. Now, from my Genoa save, he was an absolute stalwart for us. Just look at this guy's stats. Technically fantastic as a centre attack midfielder. 16 for dribbling, finishing, first touch, 17 for passing and technique, along with decisions and off the ball. 18 vision, physicals are fantastic. On a free transfer, probably the best signing I've made so far in this rebuild. 130,000 a week isn't ideal, but a 91 to 104 million pound valuation. Baldanzi, leading Premier League player, exactly what we need to push us on to the next step. Now, a couple of big signings as well. We'll go with the lowest one, however. Ahmed Mahmoud, another player that we brought in, Egyptian centre defence midfielder. He's one for the future. He's a wonder kid. We spent not too cheap amount of £10 million on this guy, but valued at 78 to 96 million. 37,000 a week. He's got 7 caps for the Egyptian national side. A good all-round player coming in here. Now, the big signing is there, but we brought in Valentin Barco from Manchester United. He was on the transfer list at 17 million. Yeah, with Buchanan going at left back, he can cover across all positions here. 58,000 a week, it's what you expect to pay now for a top half Premier League player. 25 to 30 million valuation, very happy there. And then because of our defence wasn't great, we decided to improve it with 2 players. So Arif Kokaman, we brought him in for 28 million from Trabzonspor. Powerful centre back. I mean, he's 6 foot, he's fantastic physicals here. 15 for tackling and marking with 14 heading as well. Mentals are there, bravery, concentration, positioning and work rate. Very happy to bring him in for under 30 million, 92,000 a week as well. Can't complain too much, but the big player was Juan Pablo Nunez, Chilean wonder kid, 3 caps for the Chilean national side, 38,500. We spent 44 million on this guy, 6'4". As a centre back, I don't think we're going to get much better. He's a wonder kid as well. He's one for the future to build our team around. 73 to 116 million pound valuation. Yeah, very happy with Juan Pablo Nunez. And if we have a look at kind of the league, how we are doing so far, we're 11th. We've played 4, we've won 2 and lost 2, which isn't great. We beat Palace and we beat Newcastle, but we lost to West Ham and we lost to Arsenal as well. Considering we brought in these two players, the fact that we have kind of a minus goal difference here of -1, not too happy with that, but we'll see kind of how we get on going forward. We haven't started the Europa League just yet. Let's forward on to the end of the season and see how we get on. Now, with the inclusion of Europa League fixtures, Season 5 was always going to be a difficult one, but there's been success on and off the field. Benjamin Sesko going from strength to strength and a nice run in Europe as well. Let me show you how Season 5 ended. So the end of Season 5 is here. A tough campaign with Europa League football as well as the Premier League. How did we get on? Let's find out. Now, in the competition screen, we finished in 9th place in the Premier Division. That's not good. 17 wins, 3 draws and 18 losses, which is horrendous. It's pretty much like lower league. It's just lower league results coming in here. A -11 goal difference as well, which isn't good. Looking at the goal stats, however, Benjamin Sesko, 3rd with 22 goals in the Premier Division. But we've lost way too many games this season. Is that due to obviously having a younger defence? We'll have to find out. But looking at the stats, team overview, most goals for, we finished 3rd. Well, we've scored the 3rd amount of goals in the Prem with 76, 5 coming from corners. Now, if we look at Man City and Manchester United, they've got 13 and 15 between them. So, yeah, something we need to improve on. Most shots for, we're in 7th there with 430 across the season. But I think with losing 18 games, we're not going to be involved in many of these going forward. Looking at the past positions, we lost the first game of the season, and it's just been a bit of a turgid campaign here. Highs of 6th, but lows of 11th, and eventually we lost 2 games in a row at the end of the season to drop into 9th place. Not good reading going forward. Now, looking at the other competitions, Europa League, we finished in the quarter-final, lost to Lille. In the FA Cup, we lost in the 5th round to Arsenal. In the Carabao Cup, we got knocked out in the quarter-final. So kind of looking at the Europa League and how we got on there. In the league phase, we finished in 4th place. We've won 6 against KVK, OG Nice, Sturm Graz, Galatasaray Hearts and Crvena Zvezda. Trabzonspor, we drew 0-0 and then we lost 1-0 to Sporting CP as well. Looking at the average rating, Badhaji and Doig both in the top 3 for us there. So they've had some good campaigns between the two of them. Now, from the league phase onto the round of 16, we beat Trabzonspor 8-5 on aggregate. We beat them 7-0 away from home though, which means that we lost 5-1 at home, which isn't fantastic reading. In the quarter-final as well, we got knocked out to Lille as we saw earlier. Now, how did the squad get on going forward? Benjamin Sesko got 37 goals in 50 games with 4 assists. Tommaso Baldanzi with 22 goals and 12 assists. Now, a fantastic season for him, especially as a free transfer coming in. Can't ask for much more. 5 goals and 4 assists in the Europa League for Baldanzi. Sesko in the Europa League, 8 goals and 2 assists. So the goals are there. It's just our young defence has kind of let us down a little bit. And if we look at kind of the defence as well, Tobias played 57 games overall. Cockerman gave 54 games, and Juan Pablo Nunez got 51 games as well. It's just not great. Average rating of 6.7 kind of between them. Yeah, they are young, but one to look out for next season. Now, looking at the schedule as well, how did we get on? In the Premier League, as we saw, we didn't draw many, so we either won or we lost. Our draws came against Southampton, a 3-3 draw, Everton a 1-1, and Brentford 2-2 as well. Although looking at this, we beat Villa 2-1 at Villa Park, and we also beat Villa 3-2 at home. So if there's any positives from that season, it's going to be this. It's not bad if we have a look at it. You know, we need to build on next season. Finances wise, speaking of next season, a 42 million transfer budget. Interesting to see what we can do with that. Now, if you have liked the video, please let me know down below. Comment if you want to see parts 2, which is going to be seasons 6 to 10. Like and subscribe. Comment down below who the best player is that we have so far. And I'll see you on the next episode, hopefully part 2. But if not, I'll see you then. Goodbye.